Okay, so main thing in your swing, as far as the setup position, okay, your ball position, if you're hitting the ball, eventually needs to move to in the center of your stance. You have a little bit too much to the front, so we're going to move that ball position more to the back. Now, your swing, 6 things can possibly move to get power in the golf swing: your shoulders, your hips, and your wrist. These are the things that get you in trouble when you go into the load side. The backswing is a loaded event. How we load up energy into our swing. This creates the geometry from the swing from your setup position. And then we're going to take that load of energy and then we're heading back to the ball. That's a force. And getting the energy into that force, into the golf club, is your speed. So when we look at somewhere, we're trying to figure out where the energy problem comes in. Since the grip is good, we just have to change that ball position. The 6 things you could move is your shoulders, hips, and wrist again. These are where you get in trouble. You're going to try to get power up in there. You're going to twist your upper shoulders and lift. And right now, you're top heavy, meaning all this energy is up, not down here in the core, which is where we want to move from, is the legs, the core muscles, and your arms. Staying with your core. Your arms are up with your shoulders, and that creates this over-the-top swing and across your body. So again, once we do that motion, we look here from down the line, I think here we'll see, yep. So we're going to go up, and because of that lift, you're going to go up, and then you're over, so you're stuck. You don't really can't get any power from that angle, and we're stuck. So you can use your hands to find that ball. So let's go back here to the front again. And now we're going to do some drills we talked about. So the first thing is we want to use your lower half, or what we call our core muscles. So I showed you how to feel from this space down, how you engage your top of your thighs, which is an important piece for you. The feet, that's your connection to the ground, and your core muscles in here. That's where we're going to get our power from. You're not using any of those things. You're just kind of moving up top, and your lower half is just hanging along for the ride. It's not creating any power whatsoever. It's just trying to keep you in balance in your swing. Now, the first drill is here is I got this grip, this shaft on my belt buckle. I want to feel that I'm moving from my rib cage, and I'm feeling from an internal feeling from my rib cage, not an external in my shoulders. I'm just kind of resisting and starting to feel power or connection to the ground here. This feels like I'm really connected and moving from my lower half. And you can see if I did this, I would never have a lift. There wouldn't be any lifting. This is just me feeling that. Now, the next thing is we got to get these arms. And how do we do that? Well, instead of lifting, we're going to punch the wall, which I call, go to this next frame. So right now, I just have an imaginary wall over here, and I'm going to punch right through it with that feeling. That gives me to feel energy staying low instead of high up. Now I'm creating more power here, that way. Now you're going to feel a stretch right underneath this shoulder blade right there. You should never feel it up high. You'd feel up here, somewhere high in the shoulders and the arms, that stretch feeling. You're going to feel it underneath that shoulder blade. At the same time, your core muscles are going to tighten up, and you're going to have pressure down here in your feet, right here, connected. So that's the stretch feeling. That's the opposite of what you want to do. So that's your stretching feeling to the back in the backswing. Now this will engage this feeling. If I go over and put a club in my hand, that feeling being there, and that power feeling to get power to the shot. Now let's move this ahead. Okay, so to get power to the ball now, we've set up that backswing to be better. If I hit this bag here, I'm setting myself up to be in this power feeling restriction. I'm going to probably leverage this bag. I'm going to use my core, my core and my belt buckle are going to go through. I want to feel in this drill that my belt buckle and my forearm or my watch is on this side of the bag, meaning I'm going to hit with as I hit that bag with this underneath force with my arm, I feel my belt buckle and my core are driving that energy over to the other side. See, yours don't really go to the other side because you're at that bad angle. You're just slapping those hands through there. That's why your shoulder pulls away and you can't get any power into the shot. So that feeling with that backswing, and then you can turn a club upside down. If you don't have an impact bag, you can just throw a comforter on the ground. You don't have to hit it hard, but just feel that feeling as you're hitting. Just feel my watch, my forearm, my belt buckle on the other side of the bag. And as I apply leverage to it, and that's my power. This keeps this shoulder down through the shot where I don't pull away from it so much. That gets all that power into the shot there. Now if we go over here, I highlight this. This is Roy from the tour, and you can just see how we're playing leverage the same way. So if we can get that feeling, that's our power. Jon Rahm doesn't look. Now, let's look at Jon Rahm's backswing for a second. He is the opposite of yours. He's like our punching drill. He's resisting, and he is punching out that way and not lifting. So because of the lift, you will move from the shoulders first. If you're in where we're working on, then you're going to move the legs first and the core. So that backswing is setting up a natural way to get to the ball. Your backswing is going to set, you can't really move from your hips at that point. You got to move from the shoulders and you're stuck. And that gets the leverage in the swing. From down the line view, the bag drill, you'll see how we're all applying leverage to the ball from that inside feeling. You can see our hips are facing on the other side of the bag as we play leverage. And my hands are quiet. They're just following that motion into the bag. Now every swing right at the bottom is there's a hit. And then right here, we're going to turn this force into a slingshot. You'll see all of them just release that energy like they're throwing a ball. So feel powerful to the ball. That's our force. And after the ball, we're going to slingshot it by, meaning just let it go like you're throwing a ball. Because of your angles, you can't really ever get to that slingshot. You're stuck. Let's go back and look at your other swing. So now you can see here where there's no lift in your swing. That's why we saw now we're feeling more resistance here. Even on this one, I would still let your belt buckle move too much. So we're going to feel that. You did better here, but you got to feel that belt buckle or knees face that ball as long as you can. You shouldn't turn that much away. You're feeling that stretch here, but you don't have to do that much. It's plenty. Now from here, you just feel like you're hitting the bag as a force. That's your hit. Now we're coming from the inside, not from the outside. Outside cross, inside power. And now you can let that thing slingshot past you. See how you stay down through the shot instead of being pulled over to your left. And this, if you get here to here, then you'll start to really get some speed and power in your swing. When you're twisting and lifting. Now the problem is when somebody starts hitting weak shots, they start trying to get power from where they want to go, and you instinctively get more power up and shoulders. So we're going to feel more core, bag, resist, and hit it and let it fly.